Samuel Lincoln of the Seder variety decided to debate Brianna Joy Gray on a podcast that is literally called Bad Faith. So I don't know why he thought that was a good idea. But they did a question and answer portion. And so it appears to my understanding, and again, I've operated these streams. I'm a producer and a podcaster. So either Brianna Joy Gray or Virgil Texas, or maybe there's another producer in the background, picked these questions, and someone is basically I literally cannot believe this. I literally this is just so reprehensible to me. But I don't know, man. This is weird. So either Bri Joy Gray or Virgil Texas or an unnamed, unknown producer decided to question Sam Seder on what his dead best friend would think about this dumb bullshit drama, and it's just really uncomfortable to watch. So if I had to watch it, so do you. And I want you to look at this clip because Bri is trying to set him up on this end. And then Bree is trying to weaponize his dead friend against it. It's just gross. It's
Universe
just gross.
Folks were
It's
against
really
FTV,
bad.
but several Michael Brooks guests like Cornel West and Richard Wolff were for it. Where do you think Michael would have landed? I can't say. I don't even know if I don't even know if it's appropriate to even make an assumption. I think, I think Michael had, I don't know. I think he would have probably been inclined to be supportive, but I think also I know that Michael had a similar issue that I do with Jimmy, and I think that he would have seen that as being unhelpful. But I don't know.
I think he would have started off against it.
So I'm sorry again. You can clearly see that Sam Seder's uncomfortable, right? It's just really kind of just such a dumb, especially after, because I watched a lot, I guess, of the first part before the question and answer. So imagine you bring someone on your show and you yell at them for 3 hours or 2 hours, and then you lecture them or interrogate them on what their dead friend would think about this dumb internet drama. I literally cannot envision such a scenario.
And then been persuaded for the reasons that you say. I think that he would have started off distrustful of it because of Jimmy. And because I had several people like this in my life who didn't like it, but then liked it after they read my article. And then I think throughout he would have tried to distance from Jimmy and been very critical of Jimmy. But I also think that Michael had this, we often agreed about the dumb left stuff. He thought that voting third party was dumb. He thought that all of that, anything kind of withholding your vote was dumb. He didn't like those sorts of things. And this feels like that. It has that same kind of strategic valence. So it could go the other way. I thought about it a lot, and I'm not, nobody knows, obviously.
The idea that Brianna Joy Gray is going to utilize dumb left to speak about other people. No, it's not me. I'm not in the dumb left. No, it's those other people. I just one of my favorite parts about this debate was how Virgil is just in the background gone. There's a considerable portion of time where he's just not even at the mic stand. I feel bad for him. I don't because he's rich, but I feel bad for him in the sense of having to be there for that disaster. Again, imagine picking a question, right? Asking someone about what their dead friend would think about this petty internet drama, and then knowing that they're uncomfortable with the question, and then trying to leap down like a fucking vulture, trying to scavenge some of the fucking pity points from. It's just gross, dude.
Right.
But I've thought about it a lot.
I don't, I am uncomfortable, projecting out and using his legacy to, in that way.
Yeah, I gotta say, the question puts a bad taste in my mouth, to be honest with you.
There you go.
Okay, well.
There you go. Bree just looks defeated. It's uh-oh. Did I just it's oh, well.
To, in that way.
Yeah, I gotta say, the question puts a bad taste in my mouth, to be honest with you.
Okay, well.
Can we talk about
Unbelievable. Again, I just it's so, it's just so bizarre to me. It really this whole thing is just so bizarre. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. I just I'm trying to understand this whole thing. Like, the forced to vote thing is over, right? Like, Nancy Pelosi is the speaker. It's done, right? I just don't understand. Like, again, they're trying to make it like a saga. And, I'm playing into it. It is definitely a saga. But, like, they're trying to make it like it's some era of, like when I was debating Nico House, who, again, is a literal collaborator with neo-Nazis. He made films talking about how Black Lives Matter and anti-fascist protesters are terrorists, right? He talks about how the election was stolen and how Joe Biden is a fake president, right? So that's what Nico House does. And in our debate, he was telling me that AOC had unlimited power and could have demanded anything for her speaker vote. And I watched a lot of this debate. I didn't watch the full thing yet with Bree and Sam. And Bree was saying the same shit. That, like, if you withhold your vote for Nancy Pelosi, then you can demand anything you want from her to vote for her. Like, what? Like, I just don't understand this thought process of, like, okay, we're going to withhold our vote, and then we get whatever we want. If that were the way that the speakership worked, like, okay, AOC and the squad can withhold their vote and get Medicare for all tomorrow. If that were the way these things worked, this would still be a slave state. Like, this would be a much worse country than it is right now. If you could just say, hey, speaker, I'm not going to vote for you. 10 of my buddies aren't going to vote for you unless you give us whatever we want. Like, throughout the history of this country, right, these politicians have been mostly evil. So if that were the way that this country worked, this country would be a hell of a lot worse. So I just don't understand how someone like Bree could say something so dumb. And again, in this question and answer portion, picking a question that's trying to, like, pit someone's dead friend. Like, this is like someone that this person knew for like a significant portion of time. And she's just like, hey, what do you think your dead friend would say about this? It's like, it's like, again, and the podcast itself is called Bad Faith. And, like, I just, like, that literally is the perfect descriptor. This podcast that she runs is awful. It's awful. This is an awful podcast. I'm sorry. It's just really bad. Like, this is just really bad stuff. Wow. Unbelievable. And again, like, if you're going up against a Republican, like, let me just, like, be very explicit here, right? Let's say you get Charlie Kirk on your podcast and you say, hey, Charlie, your mentor died from coronavirus. Like, why are you still so, like, I understand the gotcha. I understand what she's trying to do here, right? And that's what makes it worse, is that, like, they're supposed to be all on the same side, right? It's supposed to be like Medicare for all. We just have different approaches of how we want to do it, right? Now, again, the forced to vote opportunity is over, right? So it's not an active conversation, but she's trying to tear down anyone that has a small strategical difference of opinion from her. And that's what's so problematic, is she's in full media attack dog mode. And that's why she thought it was okay to say Jimmy Dore can kill 15 children and I still support him. And why it's okay that I can just bring up your dead best friend to talk about how wrong you are. Like, because she's in full, like, non-human interaction media attack dog mode. And that's the thing that's, like, destroying her credibility, is she thinks that this is like a grand righteous battle, like a historic crusade. She thinks she's marching through, like, fucking the streets, you know, like, trying to find, like, I don't know, like, I'm just trying to come up with an analogy here, but it's, like, really bizarre. When in reality, in the real world, Sam just probably went on there to have, like, a conversation about it. Like, she thought, like, that this is, like, a grand opportunity to, like, you know, like, expose Sam for being a faker or whatever. And Sam's probably just going in there is like, I just want to know what the hell these people are thinking, right? And probably, I don't think his question got answered. So was it worthwhile? I'm not sure. But Jesus motherfucking Christ, that is some embarrassing fucking shit, let me tell you. Talk about bad faith. Whew, my lord.